The human starship Aurora drifted silently through the cold expanse of the Zarkon Nebula. Captain Auric Lorne stared at the glowing stars outside the viewport. For months, humanity had been exploring this sector, searching for alien civilizations, and now, they had finally received a signal, a transmission from a distant world called Illyria. Illyria was known in interstellar records as the home of the Elisari, an advanced alien race revered for their wisdom, technology, and mysterious customs. Legends spoke of the High Priestess of Illyria, a figure so powerful that she guided her people through centuries of challenges. Few humans had ever met her. Auric adjusted his uniform and exhaled slowly. "I hope this goes smoothly," he murmured. His first officer, Lieutenant Maracade, glanced at him with a small smile. "We prepared as best we could," she said. "Remember, first impressions matter. The Elisari are proud but fair." The Aurora approached Illyria's orbit. Below, the planet shimmered with blue and silver continents, wrapped in swirling clouds. Massive towers of crystal and metal reached toward the sky, reflecting the light of Illyria's two suns. A single spacecraft detached from one of the towers and approached the Aurora. Its surface gleamed like liquid silver, and strange symbols glowed along its edges. The ship docked with the human vessel with gentle precision. From the ramp descended a figure unlike any human Auric had ever seen. The High Priestess herself. Her form was tall and graceful, with skin that shimmered faintly in the light. Her eyes were deep violet, radiating intelligence and curiosity. Long flowing robes of pale gold and white swayed as she moved. She spoke in a voice that seemed to echo inside the mind. "Greetings, humans. I am High Priestess Alenia of Illyria. You come seeking alliance and understanding. I welcome you." Auric bowed respectfully. "High Priestess Alenia, it is an honor. I am Captain Auric Lorne, commander of the starship Aurora. We come in peace and wish to learn from your people." The High Priestess smiled faintly. "Peace is rare among the stars, yet I sense potential in your kind, potential that could strengthen both our peoples." As they walked through the corridors of the High Priestess's ship, Auric marveled at the alien architecture. The walls seemed alive, shifting in color and texture, and soft light pulsed like a heartbeat. He noticed humanoid Elisari moving gracefully, around them their movements precise and elegant. Alenia spoke again, her voice calm but firm. "Humanity has shown courage and adaptability. These traits are rare. They remind me of the ancient founders of my lineage. Your presence here is unusual, but welcome." Mara whispered to Auric. "She seems powerful. Not just in technology, but in presence. It's almost commanding." Auric nodded. "Yes, and I think that's why we were chosen to meet her." The High Priestess led them into a large chamber filled with holographic images of stars and galaxies. At the center floated a crystalline pedestal, shimmering with soft light. "You are here because Illyria faces a great challenge," Alenia said. "An enemy force moves toward our sector. They are relentless, seeking to consume or destroy all they touch. Our people cannot face them alone. That is why I have reached out to humanity." Auric felt a mix of pride and fear. Humanity had survived countless challenges, but facing an unknown alien threat was something different. "We will do what we can to help," he said. "Tell us what you need." Alenia nodded. "Your strength lies not only in your weapons, but in your creativity and resilience. My people require guidance, strategy, and alliance. And there is a deeper bond that must be formed between our lineages to ensure lasting trust." Auric's brow furrowed. "A bond? Of what kind?" The High Priestess regarded him with piercing eyes. "A bond of understanding, of respect, and of shared purpose. To lead your people and mine together, you must first learn our ways and be accepted into the circle of Illyria. This is symbolic, not personal. It is a tradition of unity." Mara looked at Auric with concern. "Symbolic," she said. "That's good, right?" Auric took a deep breath. "Yes, we'll do it properly. Humanity respects traditions." The High Priestess extended her hand. Then come. Let us begin the ceremony of acceptance. They followed her through a corridor lined with crystals that hummed softly, as if alive. The chamber at the end opened to a view of Illyria itself. Mountains of silver and blue stretched across the horizon, and rivers of light flowed like molten glass. It was breathtaking. Alenia gestured to the center of the chamber. Humans, step forward. To join the circle of Illyria is to promise cooperation and trust. Place your hands upon the pedestal and speak your intention. Arik approached, careful not to rush. He placed his hands on the smooth surface, feeling a strange warmth. Mara followed. I, Arik Lorn, Captain of Humanity, pledge to learn, respect, and protect the people of Illyria, and to honor the bonds between our worlds, he said clearly. The pedestal glowed brighter, sending a wave of light through the chamber. Mara repeated a similar pledge. Alenia's eyes glimmered with satisfaction. The bond is recognized, she said. You are now part of our circle. But know this, the path ahead is dangerous. The enemy approaches, and your choices will shape not only your destiny but that of humanity and Illyria alike. As the ceremony ended, Arik looked out at the planet below. The gravity of the situation weighed on him, but he felt something else, too. A spark of excitement. Humanity was about to face its greatest challenge yet, and they had allies unlike any they had ever imagined. Alenia's gaze met his. Courage, humans. You have been chosen because your spirit shines where others falter. Trust in yourselves, and you will find the way. Arik straightened his shoulders. We won't fail. Humanity never does. The High Priestess inclined her head slightly, a faint smile on her lips. We shall see, Captain. We shall see. As the humans departed the chamber, the stars of Illyria's skies sparkled with possibility. Somewhere out there, an enemy approached. But together, humans and Elisari would face whatever came. And so began the first steps of a bond that could change the fate of the galaxy. The human starship Aurora had settled into orbit around Illyria, but Captain Arik Lorn knew their mission was only beginning. The High Priestess Alenia had spoken of an approaching enemy, and the humans could not face such a threat without understanding the Elisari way of life. The next morning, Arik and Lieutenant Mara Cade were escorted to the Elisari training dome, a vast structure suspended above a silver canyon. The dome's surface was transparent, and from inside, one could see Illyrian forests and mountains stretching for miles. Streams of light ran through the landscape, as if the planet itself were alive. Humans, welcome, said a young Elisari, guide named Cyril. The training dome is where our people sharpen mind, body, and spirit. You will learn our ways, not only to defend yourselves but to strengthen the bond between our civilizations. Arik glanced at Mara. Sounds intense. Cyril smiled. Indeed, but you humans have qualities we admire: curiosity, adaptability, courage. You may learn faster than you think. Inside the dome, the humans were met with sights they could hardly imagine. Platforms floated in the air, shifting and rotating slowly. Strange crystalline creatures moved gracefully through the chamber, seemingly observing the newcomers. Holographic projections of alien battle formations glowed in midair, and soft harmonic tones filled the space, responding to movement and thought. Alenia appeared at the center of the dome, her robes flowing like liquid gold. Training is more than fighting, she said. It is understanding. You must learn to anticipate, adapt, and cooperate. Humanity has survived by being clever, but survival alone will not be enough. You must rise above and see possibilities. Others miss. Arik nodded. We're ready. Their first task was a simulation of an enemy ambush. Humans were placed in a holographic battlefield with shifting landscapes. Mountains could rise or fall, rivers could appear, and the enemy formations changed unpredictably. The goal was to reach the other side without being caught. Mara moved, quickly, her military training kicking in. Arik, we need to split up and flank from two sides, she suggested. Arik considered it. Good. Let's also use their blind spots. Watch how they move. Predict. Don't just react. The humans moved cautiously, analyzing the holographic enemy. The Elisari observed silently, occasionally whispering guidance. Despite the alien environment, Aric's instincts kept him ahead. Mara followed precisely, using her knowledge of human tactics while adapting to Illyrian methods. By the end of the first simulation, both humans had reached the goal. Alenia appeared, clapping slowly. Impressive. You learn quickly. But remember, adaptability is only part of strength. You must also learn harmony, how your actions affect your allies and the battlefield as a whole. The next few days were a whirlwind of training. Aric learned to focus his mind, feeling subtle energy currents within the dome, something the Elisari called the flow. Mara practiced coordinating with holographic allies, developing intuition for movement and timing beyond human perception. One evening after a long day, the humans were led to a terrace overlooking Illyria's glowing forests. The twin suns were setting, painting the skies in gold and violet. Aric took a deep breath. It's beautiful, he said. Even with the enemy out there, this place, it's unlike anything on Earth. Mara nodded. It's peaceful, for now. But we can't forget why we're here. Alenia approached, silently, her presence calming yet commanding. You are learning well, human, your determination, but the Ina. The alarm lights flashed across the bridge of the Aurora. Captain Aric Lorne rose from his chair, his jaw tight. Report, he demanded. Lieutenant Mara Cade checked the holographic display. Captain, multiple enemy ships detected on Illyria's outer orbit. They're moving in formation faster than we expected. It's not a scouting party, it's an attack. Aric's eyes narrowed. Then we have no time to waste. Prepare the fleet. Alert the Elisari. Through the communication console, High Priestess Alenia's calm voice filled the bridge. Humans, Illyrian pilots, prepare for engagement. Remember, your training. Unity and coordination will save lives. Trust your instincts. The human and Illyrian fleets launched into the skies together. Crystalline fighters sliced through Illyria's upper atmosphere, the twin suns reflecting off their polished surfaces. The enemy fleet, jagged and ominous, advanced with relentless speed. Red lights pulsed along their hulls as they targeted the planet below. Aric gripped the controls of his fighter. Mara, stay close. We'll lead the center formation. Watch their movements carefully. Predict and adapt. Mara's voice was steady. Got it, Captain. Let's show them what humans can do. The first clash was sudden. The enemy fired bursts of crimson energy, and the Illyrian shields flared under impact. Aric maneuvered his ship with sharp precision, dodging and returning fire. He noticed a pattern in the enemy formation, a slight hesitation when they adjusted their trajectory. Now, Mara. Split left and circle back, he commanded. The humans moved as one, weaving through the enemy's ranks. They coordinated with the Elisari fighters, signaling with subtle light flashes and hand gestures. The enemy faltered under the unexpected strategy. Illyrian ships, guided by human insight, struck with surgical precision. One by one, enemy ships were disabled, their glowing cores dimming. Alenia's voice came through the comms again, calm but firm. Good. Remember, the battle is not won by destruction alone. Protect the planet below. Keep civilians and critical installations safe. Aric adjusted his strategy. Focus on escorting the lower orbit patrols, Mara. I'll draw their main force toward us. Remember the flow? We've trained for this. The flow, the invisible energy that connected the Elisari to their environment, was something humans could barely sense. Yet Aric felt it in his mind as a pulse of anticipation. He guided his fighter through the enemy ranks, reading their movements like a chessboard. Mara stayed in formation with the Illyrian squadron. Captain, the lower orbit is almost secure. Keep leading the enemy away, she reported. Aric smiled grimly. Just a little longer. They won't expect a human-led diversion. The enemy pursued Aric relentlessly, He lured them into a narrow asteroid field near the planet's equator. The jagged rocks shimmered faintly under Illyria's twin suns. Auric twisted his fighter through tight spaces, dodging blasts and debris. The enemy ships, less agile than the humans, began colliding with asteroids or each other. From above, the Illyrian fleet pressed the advantage, disabling the remaining enemy ships. Auric's gamble had worked. By combining human cunning with Illyrian technology, they had turned a chaotic battle into a strategic victory. When the dust settled, Illyria's orbit was calm once more. Auric and Mara returned to the platform where Alenia awaited. The High Priestess's violet eyes glimmered with approval. "You have done well, humans," she said. "Your courage, adaptability, and ability to lead have saved countless lives. Illyria owes you a debt that words cannot describe." Auric bowed respectfully. "We only did what we had to do. Humanity stands with Illyria. We fight not for glory, but for survival, together." Alenia nodded. "Yes, that is the spirit of true allies. But know this, the enemy will not stop. They are relentless. This was only a trial. The greater battle looms, and you will need more than skill. You will need heart, resilience, and trust in one another." Mara stepped forward, curiosity in her voice. "High Priestess, what exactly are they after? Why attack Illyria?" Alenia's expression darkened. "They seek to consume civilizations that show promise. They are driven by hunger for power and dominance. Illyria stands in their path because our technology and wisdom make us strong. And now, humanity stands with us. That is why they come. They sense potential in you as well." Auric's mind raced. The stakes were higher than he imagined. "Then, we need to prepare our people, not just for battle but for survival, and we need to unite with the Elisari more closely than ever." Alenia extended her hand. "That is why your lineage, humanity's line of courage, curiosity, and persistence, must be intertwined with Illyria. Not by blood, but by trust, cooperation, and shared destiny. You are part of something larger than either species alone." Auric felt the weight of her words. Humans had always faced challenges, but this was unlike anything in Earth's history. Yet there was a spark of pride. Humanity had been tested, and they had risen to the occasion. Over the next few days, the humans worked tirelessly alongside the Elisari. Training shifted from simulations to real-world strategy planning. They studied enemy tactics, learned advanced Illyrian energy technologies, and coordinated fleet maneuvers that combined human ingenuity with alien precision. One evening, Mara and Auric walked along a terrace overlooking the glowing forests. The twin moons bathed the landscape in silver light. "We did it," Mara said softly. "Our first real victory." Auric nodded. "Yes, but it's only the beginning. We'll face more, stronger enemies next time. We have to be ready for us and for Illyria." Mara smiled. "Humans are good at rising to challenges, and I think we're learning more than just tactics. We're learning what it means to trust each other, even with species so different from us." Auric looked at the stars, then at Illyria below. "This bond, it's stronger than I expected. Humanity has survived countless wars, disasters, and challenges. But here, we're proving we can rise not just as humans, but as part of something greater. Together." Alenia watched from a distance, her expression unreadable but her mind attentive. She sensed the humans' determination and spirit, a rare combination that could shape the future of not just Illyria, but the galaxy. And as the twin moons cast their light over the planet, a shadow moved in the far reaches of space. The enemy had retreated for now, but they were watching, planning, and waiting for the next strike. The humans and Elisari had won a battle, but the war was far from over. Courage, strategy, and unity would be their only hope. And humanity had already shown it could rise to any challenge. The first battle was over, but the true test of strength, trust, and spirit had only just begun. The calm of Illyria's skies was deceptive. Captain Auric Lorne felt it in his bones. The enemy was gathering strength. The first skirmish had tested them, but he knew it was only a prelude. Captain, sensors indicate multiple fleets approaching from 3 directions. Lieutenant Mara Cade reported, her voice steady, but tense. They're coordinating this time. Arik studied the holographic display. Red blips surrounded Illyria's orbit like a tightening net. Prepare the fleet. Alert the Illyrian forces. This will be our biggest challenge yet. The High Priestess, Alenia, appeared on the bridge screen, her violet eyes calm but firm. Humans, your courage in the first battle has not gone unnoticed. Today, you will face a coordinated assault. Your actions will determine not just survival, but the future of 2 civilizations. Trust your instincts and trust each other. Arik nodded. Understood. Mara, let's make sure humanity stands strong beside Illyria. The combined fleet launched into orbit. Illyrian ships, crystalline and fast, flanked the human vessels. Arik's fighter led the central formation, with Mara guiding the left wing. Communications between humans and Elisari were precise, each signal carrying vital instructions. The enemy attacked swiftly. Their ships moved in perfect synchronization, striking from multiple angles. Explosions erupted across space, sending debris drifting in all directions. It was a chaos unlike anything Arik had seen. Stay focused, Arik shouted. Anticipate, adapt, and cover each other. We're stronger together. The humans applied what they had learned from the training dome. Arik's instincts guided the fleet, anticipating enemy movements, while Mara coordinated defensive maneuvers that protected vulnerable ships. The Elisari responded with fluid precision, their movements almost like a dance weaving between blasts of energy. Arik noticed a weak point in the enemy formation, a slight delay in the central wing. Mara, we exploit the center. Lead the flank and I'll guide the rest of the fleet through. Mara executed flawlessly. Flank initiated, moving into position. Human and Illyrian ships converged on the enemy's center. Energy blasts erupted, shields flaring under the assault. One by one, enemy ships were disabled. The remaining forces scattered, trying to regroup, but Arik's strategy had already destabilized them. Alenia's voice echoed through the comms. Excellent. But the battle is not over. Their flagship remains at a distance, observing and coordinating. You must remain vigilant. Arik's heart pounded. He had trained for this moment, but the reality of facing a relentless alien fleet was daunting. All units, stay alert. Watch the flagship's movements. It will try to draw us in. Do not fall for their trap. Minutes stretched into tense hours. The enemy attempted several feints, each time testing the humans and Elisari. Arik remained calm, using his instincts and training to guide the fleet. Mara's communication skills ensured no ship was left vulnerable. Finally, the flagship revved itself, a massive, jagged vessel weary. The calm after the battle was deceptive. Captain Arik Lorne knew the victory had been significant, but the threat was far from over. The enemy had retreated, but their movements suggested a larger plan. The humans and Elisari had survived today, yet tomorrow could be far more dangerous. Arik and Lieutenant Mara Cade stood on the observation deck of Illyria's central command tower. Below them, the cities glowed with light, peaceful for the moment. Yet, in Arik's mind, the red blips of the enemy fleet lingered like shadows. We need intelligence, Arik said, breaking the silence. We know their ships and tactics, but not their origin or ultimate goal. If we want to protect Illyria, we must understand them. Mara nodded. Agreed. We've trained for combat, but knowing the enemy before they strike again is just as important. High Priestess Alenia approached, her robes flowing like liquid light. Humans, you have proven your courage and adaptability. Now you must use your intellect and creativity. The enemy you face is ancient and cunning. To defeat them, we must anticipate their actions, not just react. Arik bowed slightly. Then we start immediately. Where do we begin? Alenia led them to the Hall of Records, a vast chamber filled with floating crystals, each containing centuries of Illyrian history and knowledge. The enemy's movements have been recorded in fragments throughout the galaxy, she explained. We have pieced together clues from other civilizations they have attacked. But many secrets remain. Hidden, you will help decipher them. Mara examined the floating crystals, her fingers tracing the air as symbols glowed in response. "This is incredible," she whispered. "It's like the knowledge itself is alive." Arik focused on one crystal, projecting holographic images of battlefields and ships. Patterns emerged, attack formations, energy signatures, and unusual strategies. He noticed similarities to the first two battles, subtle clues that hinted at the enemy's ultimate plan. "These aren't random attacks," he said. "They are testing us. Each strike teaches them about our tactics, our strengths, and our weaknesses. They're learning from us." Alenia nodded gravely. "Yes, they are not merely a force of destruction. They are intelligent, adaptive, and relentless. To survive, you must think like they do. Anticipate their moves before they make them." Over the next several days, Arik and Mara worked tirelessly with the Elisari scholars and strategists. They studied the enemy's technology, deciphered battle patterns, and devised counter-strategies. The humans applied their creativity and intuition, proposing maneuvers and tactics that even the Elisari had not considered. One evening, after hours of analysis, Arik leaned back, exhaustion evident on his face. "Mara, this enemy isn't just strong, they're thinking, planning like we do. To beat them, we need to combine everything we've learned: human intuition, Illyrian technology, and something more." Mara raised an eyebrow. "Something more?" Arik nodded. "Yes, something that neither humans nor Elisari have used before. Innovation, imagination. That's how humanity has survived for centuries. And now we must do it on a galactic scale." Alenia approached, her violet eyes glowing softly. "You speak wisely, Captain. The greatest victories come not from force alone, but from insight, creativity, and courage. Humanity has a unique gift, the ability to rise above limitations, to see solutions others cannot. That gift is why you are part of Illyria's circle." Encouraged by her words, Arik and Mara proposed a bold strategy. Instead of waiting for the enemy to attack again, they would take the initiative. Using combined human Illyrian technology, they would create a defensive network that could anticipate enemy movements and respond instantly. Energy fields, fleet coordination, and rapid response units would work together like a single organism. DC, Elisari were impressed. "Your minds think differently," Alenia said. "This approach could change the outcome of the war. It is daring yet necessary. Humanity's spirit shines brightly here." Within days, the defensive network was ready. Human engineers and Illyrian technomancers worked side by side, connecting ships, satellites, and planetary defenses into a cohesive system. Arik oversaw the operations, ensuring coordination and testing every parameter. Mara monitored simulations, adjusting strategies and predicting enemy movements. Finally, the network was complete. Illyria's skies hummed with energy, the defensive grid pulsing with light and power. It was a testament to cooperation, innovation, and the combined genius of two civilizations, but the peace was short-lived. Scouts detected the enemy fleet returning, larger and more aggressive than before. Their ships glowed with red energy, engines blazing as they advanced with purpose. Arik clenched his fists. This is it, the real test. The humans and Illyrians launched into orbit, ready for battle. The defensive network activated, projecting energy fields and coordinating fleet movements automatically. Arik guided the human units while Mara synchronized with Illyrian pilots, ensuring rapid responses. The enemy attacked with precision, but the network anticipated their moves, adapting faster than they could react. Human ingenuity, combined with Illyrian technology, created an almost seamless defense. Arik noticed a change in the enemy's tactics. They began targeting the network itself, attempting to disrupt coordination. "Mara, we need to protect the grid, divert forces to cover critical nodes." Mara executed the order instantly. Diverting units, shields up. The battle intensified. Explosions lit the skies, ships weaving through energy streams, dodging blasts and striking with perfect timing. Yet the humans remained calm, applying every lesson learned in training in previous battles. Alenya's voice echoed in their minds. Humans, trust in yourselves. You have risen above every challenge. Now show the enemy the strength of your spirit. Auric smiled grimly. We will. Humanity never yields. With combined effort, they repelled the enemy assault. The flagship was once again targeted, its energy core exposed. Coordinated strikes disabled it, scattering the enemy fleet. Illyria's skies glowed with victory once more. After the battle, Auric and Mara stood on the observation deck, watching the retreating enemy. Exhaustion and relief mingled in their hearts. We did it, Mara said softly. We really did it. Together, Auric nodded, gazing at the stars. Yes, but this war isn't over. We've learned their patterns, but they'll adapt. We need to be ready for the next challenge. Alenya appeared beside them. Humans, you have proven your courage, wisdom, and spirit. Illyria is stronger because of you. But remember, the greatest challenges are not always in battle. They are in knowing when to act, when to trust, and when to lead. Auric and Mara exchanged glances. They understood her words. The true test of their alliance and of humanity's spirit was only beginning. As night fell over Illyria, the twin moons cast silver light across the forests and cities. The humans had risen to the occasion, proving that courage, creativity, and unity could overcome even the most relentless enemies. But mysteries about the enemy remained. Origins, motives, and hidden power yet to be revealed. The bond between humanity and Illyria had grown stronger than ever. Together they would face whatever came next. And somewhere in the depths of space the enemy was regrouping, unaware that their greatest challenge was not just the Elisari, but the indomitable human spirit standing beside them. The enemy fleet had grown larger, faster, and more dangerous than ever before. Sensors aboard the Aurora displayed countless red blips, a massive armada advancing toward Illyria with unrelenting determination. Captain Auric Lorne felt the weight of responsibility pressing down on him. This was the ultimate test, not only for humanity but for the bond between humans and Elisari. Lieutenant Mara Cade stood beside him on the bridge, her eyes scanning the display. Captain, they're moving in 3 coordinated waves. This isn't just an attack, it's a siege. Auric nodded. We expected nothing less. Prepare the fleet and alert all Illyrian forces. Today we fight for Illyria and for the future of both our peoples. High Priestess Alenya appeared on the main screen, her presence calm, yet commanding. Humans, you have grown stronger with every challenge. Your courage, strategy, and spirit have earned you a place in Illyria's circle. Today you will lead the final stand. Trust yourselves, trust each other, and trust the bond you have forged. Auric straightened. We will not fail. The combined human Elisari fleet launched into space, energy shields glowing, weapon systems primed. The enemy waves approached in synchronized formation, a storm of red light against the black of the void. Auric led the center formation, Mara on the left flank, and Illyrian commanders filling the right and rear positions. Remember everything you've learned, Auric called. Flow with the battle, anticipate the enemy, and cover each other. We are stronger together. The first wave struck with sudden intensity. Enemy ships darted through the formation, firing beams of crimson energy. The humans and Elisari responded instantly, dodging, countering, and using the defensive network they had built together. Energy fields pulsed, deflecting blasts and protecting vital ships. Auric guided the fleet through the chaos, predicting enemy movements. Mara, flank their right. Draw them toward our traps. Mara executed the maneuver perfectly, guiding Illyrian ships in a sweeping arc. Several enemy vessels collided with energy barriers or were caught in concentrated attacks. Auric's instincts, honed through years of human experience and Illyrian training, kept the fleet coordinated and effective. High Priestess Alenya's voice echoed through the fleet.